Living alone offers the unique opportunity to discover your true self. In solitude, women learn to reflect, grow, and embrace their personal strengths without distractions. As Joe Dispenza teaches, moments of stillness unlock powerful self-awareness, leading to profound personal growth. When you're alone, you become your own teacher, your own guide, and your own source of strength, empowering you to tap into a deeper sense of purpose and clarity. In this article, we'll explore why women who live alone are among the strongest people you'll ever meet. From discovering their true selves and developing emotional resilience, to becoming self-sufficient and mastering their emotional intelligence, this article dives into the powerful transformations that happen when women embrace solitude. Together, we'll also uncover how this independence shapes their personal growth, strengthens their mental clarity, and enables them to create fulfilling lives on their own terms. Emotional resilience. How solitude builds unshakable strength. As we discussed earlier, solitude provides women with a rare chance to truly connect with themselves. But what's even more powerful is how it fosters emotional resilience. When women live alone, they are constantly confronted with the highs and lows of life. And it's in these moments of solitude that they begin to build an emotional strength unlike any other. Imagine Sarah, a woman who, for years, relied on the company of others for emotional support. After a breakup, she decided to move into her own apartment. At first, the silence was deafening. The quiet nights alone felt unsettling, and she struggled to adjust to her new reality. But over time, something profound started to shift within her. She began to discover new ways to soothe her soul, lean into her own thoughts, and process her feelings without seeking validation from others. This is the true beauty of living alone. It forces you to face your emotions head-on. Without the distractions of social engagements or the pressure of others' expectations, women can finally listen to their inner voice and navigate the maze of their emotions with clarity. As Sarah learned, emotional resilience isn't something that can be taught overnight. It's something that is earned through experience and the ability to stand strong in the face of life's challenges. Through solitude, women like Sarah develop an unshakable confidence in their ability to weather any storm. When you learn to sit with your emotions, rather than running from them, you come to realize that no external force can dictate your internal peace. You become the creator of your own emotional stability. As you face heartaches, setbacks, or even the inevitable tough days, you gain the wisdom that your worth is not defined by the people around you, but by the unshakable foundation you've built within yourself. Another aspect of emotional resilience that solitude nurtures is the ability to practice self-compassion. Women who live alone develop the skill of being kind to themselves, especially in moments of failure. In those quiet moments, when no one is watching, they become their own greatest cheerleaders. They learn to forgive themselves, to pick themselves back up, and to continue moving forward without judgment. This self-compassion fuels their emotional resilience, creating a cycle where each setback becomes an opportunity for growth rather than defeat. In conclusion, emotional resilience isn't just about bouncing back from difficult situations. It's about learning to stand tall in the face of adversity with unwavering confidence. Women who live alone tap into this strength every day as they navigate their inner world. Through solitude, they transform challenges into stepping stones, building an emotional foundation that is invincible and empowering them to handle whatever life throws their way. This resilience becomes the core of their strength, propelling them forward into a life of fulfillment and independence. Independence. How living alone cultivates self-sufficiency and confidence. Building emotional resilience is not the only profound transformation that occurs when women choose to live alone. As we've seen, solitude helps them face their inner world with strength, but it also plays a pivotal role in developing independence. When women live alone, they don't just discover how to manage emotions or deal with hardship. They learn how to rely on themselves in every aspect of life, from the small daily tasks to the larger challenges that arise. This self-sufficiency becomes the foundation of their confidence. Take the story of Emma, a woman who had always been surrounded by family and friends, constantly seeking their help. When she moved into her own apartment for the first time, she was unsure of how to manage everything on her own. From cooking meals to fixing a leaky faucet, Emma was forced to learn things she had never considered before. At first, she made plenty of mistakes, feeling frustrated by her lack of knowledge and the sudden realization that she could no longer rely on others for everything. However, over time, Emma began to experience something transformative. With each mistake, she gained a little more confidence. When she fixed her first leaky pipe on her own, she felt a rush of pride, knowing that she had managed something she once thought was impossible. These small victories built on one another, and she started to realize that her independence wasn't just about handling household chores. It was about her ability to navigate life on her own terms. Every time she faced a challenge and handled it by herself, Emma grew stronger and more assured of her abilities. Independence, in this sense, is not just a skill, it's a mindset. Women who live alone start to see themselves as capable of achieving anything. The act of living alone forces them to step into roles they never imagined for themselves, be it as a problem solver, a decision maker, or a creator of their own destiny. Over time, this constant reliance on their own abilities boosts their confidence, enabling them to approach life with the assurance that they can handle whatever comes their way. Living alone also teaches women the importance of self-care and time management. With no one to share responsibilities or time with, they learn to prioritize their health, finances, and emotional well-being. They make decisions based on what they need, not what others expect of them. This leads to a deeper understanding of what it means to be independent, not just in physical tasks, but in mental and emotional growth as well. They discover that independence doesn't mean isolation. It means embracing one's own power and making choices that align with personal values and goals. The more time a woman spends living alone, the more she realizes that true confidence comes from trusting her own abilities. Whether it's navigating tough situations or making important life decisions, independence becomes her guiding force. It teaches her that the more she trusts herself, the more she is capable of creating a fulfilling and successful life on her own terms. In conclusion, the journey of independence that begins with living alone is a profound process of self-discovery. It's about learning how to stand on your own feet, solve problems independently, and ultimately create the life you want. For women who embrace this journey, independence becomes more than just a skill. It becomes a source of endless confidence and power. The power of self-discovery. How living alone unlocks personal growth, building on the idea of cultivating confidence and independence. Living alone offers one of the most profound opportunities for self-discovery. In the absence of constant external influences, be it from family, friends, or even a partner, women are given the unique chance to truly connect with who they are. Without the distractions of other people's expectations or judgments, they can explore their passions, values, and dreams in a way that isn't clouded by the noise of daily life. It's a space where they can unearth their true desires and find clarity about their purpose in life. Take Sarah, for example. She had always been known for being the people pleaser, someone who tailored her decisions to fit the needs of others. Whether it was what job she chose, where she lived, or who she spent time with, her life was always shaped by the expectations of the people around her. But when Sarah decided to move into her own apartment, she was suddenly thrust into a space where she had to make decisions based solely on her own needs and desires. At first, it was terrifying. She wasn't used to listening to her own voice without the opinions of others weighing her down. But slowly, Sarah began to experience something incredible. She started to understand what truly made her happy, outside of the confines of her previous life. She discovered hobbies she never knew she had a passion for, like painting and yoga. She realized that the career path she had chosen wasn't truly fulfilling her, and she began making plans to transition into something more aligned with her inner passions. The more she spent time with herself, the more she began to understand her values, what she stood for, what she wanted in relationships, and what kind of future she envisioned for herself. This is the magic of living alone. It creates a quiet space for women to explore themselves without feeling rushed or judged. It's a form of personal growth that doesn't happen overnight, but rather through the steady accumulation of small moments of introspection and reflection. It's about peeling back the layers of life to reveal the core of who you are. And in that process, women often discover strengths, talents, and dreams they never knew existed. In this newfound space, self-discovery is not just about identifying what you like or want. It's also about facing your fears and learning how to overcome them. Living alone forces women to confront their vulnerabilities and grow from them. They may experience moments of loneliness, doubt, or uncertainty, but with each challenge, they learn to trust themselves more and more. They begin to realize that even in their most vulnerable moments, they are capable of handling whatever comes their way. For women who live alone, the power of self-discovery lies in the freedom to explore and evolve without limitations. They become the architects of their own growth, constantly learning and evolving. And in doing so, they not only unlock a deeper sense of self-awareness but also create a life that is truly aligned with who they are at the core. In conclusion, the journey of self-discovery is one of the most valuable gifts that living alone offers. It is a process of uncovering one's true self, unearthing untapped potential, and developing a sense of clarity about who you are and what you truly want from life. It's about shedding the external influences that once defined you and stepping into a space where you can flourish on your own terms. Embracing independence. The true strength found in solitude, building on the idea that self-discovery is essential to personal growth. Let's talk about the strength that comes from true independence. When a woman chooses to live alone, she is not just embracing a physical space. She is embracing her emotional and mental autonomy. Independence is not merely about living without a partner, family, or friends in close proximity. It's about learning to stand on your own, make your own decisions, and trust your instincts. For many women, this journey of independence begins with a simple but profound realization. They don't need external validation to feel secure. Take Emily, a woman in her late 20s, who had always been part of a close-knit family. Growing up, she had been surrounded by constant chatter and the presence of others. When she moved to a new city and into her first solo apartment, she quickly realized that her identity had often been defined by others, by her parents, her friends, and even her significant others. But here, in her solitude, she began to ask herself the most powerful question: who am I when no one else is around? At first, the silence felt unnerving. The absence of the familiar voices, the noise of daily life, left her feeling exposed. She missed the comfort of being able to consult others at every crossroads. But over time, Emily started to recognize something amazing. In those quiet moments, she was rediscovering her inner strength. She was making decisions for herself. She was learning to trust her judgment, even in the absence of external opinions. The strength she was finding was not about being strong for others. It was about becoming strong within herself. Through the process of living alone, women like Emily discover that independence is not just about managing day-to-day tasks. It's about emotional self-sufficiency, being able to handle life's ups and downs without needing someone else to prop them up. Independence means knowing that when life gets tough, they are their own best support system. It's the ability to walk through the darkest days with the belief that they have the resilience to weather the storm, no matter how long it lasts. The emotional strength that comes with solitude isn't always easy to come by. It requires confronting your fears, uncertainties, and vulnerabilities. And yet, in this process of confronting discomfort, women begin to find a deeper sense of self-assurance. It's the realization that even in their most fragile state, they are capable of overcoming obstacles. This kind of strength isn't built overnight. It is cultivated in moments of silence, reflection, and solitude. Living alone also fosters the ability to manage one's own emotional needs. Women who have learned to thrive on their own often develop a stronger emotional intelligence. They become more in tune with their feelings, more aware of their triggers, and better equipped to navigate the challenges that life throws their way. They don't need others to tell them what they need. They have the tools to identify their own needs and meet them in healthy, fulfilling ways. In the end, the strength that comes from living alone isn't just about physical survival. It's about emotional endurance, resilience, and the ability to thrive on your own terms. The journey of embracing solitude teaches women that they are more than capable of facing life's challenges, no matter how difficult they may seem. And this newfound strength is something that stays with them, giving them the confidence to take on any challenge that comes their way, and the courage to live life according to their own values. The fearless self-discovery that comes with living alone, building upon the strength found in solitude. Living alone offers one of the most profound opportunities for self-discovery. It forces women to face themselves in ways that are not possible when surrounded by others. Without the constant chatter of friends, family, or partners, they are left alone to confront the person in the mirror, their own desires, fears, and ambitions. And in this raw space of isolation, the greatest revelations happen. Take a moment to consider the journey of Sarah, a woman in her early 30s, who decided to live alone after years of being in relationships where her identity seemed to blur into that of her partners. At first, Sarah struggled with the absence of external validation. There were no more late-night talks with her partner or text messages from friends asking her for advice. The silence was loud, and at first it was terrifying. She didn't know who she was without the influence of others. But over time, something amazing began to happen. Sarah started reconnecting with her passions. She rediscovered her love for painting, a hobby she had abandoned for years because her relationships had taken priority. In the quiet of her living room, she would spend hours painting, not for anyone else, but simply because it filled her with joy. She started journaling more, reflecting on her thoughts, desires, and fears. Through these practices, Sarah began to realize just how much of her life had been shaped by others' expectations. Living alone, she was forced to navigate situations that once made her feel vulnerable or uncertain, like making big life decisions without the input of others. At first, she was hesitant. Should she move to a new city for a job opportunity? Should she take the leap and pursue her dreams of becoming a writer? There were moments of doubt, but instead of seeking advice from those around her, Sarah learned to trust her own instincts. She was learning how to tune into the voice of her inner wisdom, something she hadn't been able to do when constantly surrounded by noise. This experience of self-discovery isn't just about hobbies or career decisions. It's about understanding oneself at the core level. Women who live alone experience a level of freedom that many never get in relationships or family dynamics. There is no pressure to fit into someone else's mold, and there is no one to influence your decisions, desires, or boundaries. Instead, they find out what truly matters to them, independent of anyone else's expectations. It's a journey that brings clarity about what they want from life, who they are, and what their values truly are. The most significant part of this journey is realizing that they are enough. In the absence of others, women learn to be their own source of support. They no longer depend on the approval or opinions of others for validation. They start to realize that their own voice is powerful, and they are worthy of their dreams, desires, and success. Living alone allows them to reprogram their beliefs, challenging societal norms that might tell them they need to constantly be in relationships to feel fulfilled. It teaches them to cherish their individuality and see themselves as whole, powerful individuals who are capable of achieving anything on their own. And as they grow in confidence and clarity, they begin to embrace not only the life they've created for themselves, but also the future they can now boldly step into. So, living alone isn't about loneliness. It's about fearless self-discovery. It's about understanding that solitude is not something to be feared, but something to embrace, because in that space, women can finally become the fullest versions of themselves. How living alone leads to unshakable confidence and resilience, building on the self-discovery and inner strength that comes with solitude. Living alone creates an environment where confidence and resilience can truly blossom. In the absence of distractions or others' opinions, women learn to rely on their own judgment, which in turn strengthens their emotional resilience. They become unshakable in their confidence because they've experienced life at its rawest, without the cushion of external support, approval, or validation. This journey, while not without its challenges, teaches them that their worth is not defined by anyone else's presence or perspective. Take the story of Emily, who after years of being in relationships where her voice often got lost, decided to live on her own. At first, the silence felt oppressive. There were moments when she doubted herself, wondering if she was making a mistake by stepping into the unknown. But as days turned into weeks, Emily began to realize something powerful. She was not only surviving alone, she was thriving. She was no longer waiting for approval or someone else's affirmation. Instead, she learned to trust herself completely. One of the most significant moments of Emily's transformation occurred when she had to make a major decision about her career. Previously, She would have sought the opinions of friends or family members to help guide her choices. But this time, she stood at the crossroads of an opportunity and took a deep breath. She realized that she had everything she needed to make the best decision for herself, without external validation. She trusted her instincts and took the leap. This confidence came from a deeper understanding of who she was and what she was capable of. Living alone, she realized that she was enough. She didn't need anyone to tell her she was doing a good job or to seek reassurance from others. Through every challenge, she had learned to rely on her inner strength, and it was in this quiet solitude that she found the courage to face her fears head-on. Resilience, too, grew out of the lessons learned from living alone. When life threw obstacles her way, whether it was a career setback, personal failure, or a sudden change, Emily was no longer rattled. She faced these moments with a calm certainty, knowing that she could navigate the storm on her own. She had already proven to herself that she could live through tough times, even thrive in them. The absence of external distractions or the need for others' opinions meant that she was able to see challenges for what they truly were, temporary roadblocks rather than insurmountable mountains. Living alone forces women to become their own pillars of strength, learning not to rely on anyone else for validation or reassurance. It fosters a deep belief that no matter what life throws their way, they have everything within themselves to rise above. This confidence is not just about external success, but about inner peace and acceptance of oneself. Through solitude, women discover that they are the architects of their own lives, capable of creating joy, strength, and resilience from within. They stop waiting for someone to fill the void or tell them they are strong. They already know it because they've lived through the moments where they were tested and still emerged as their own greatest ally. Living alone isn't just about independence. It's about learning that true resilience comes from the unwavering belief in oneself. And when a woman discovers that there's nothing she can't achieve, absolutely, here's a more engaging and compelling call to action for your audience. Hey, if this resonated with you, don't just sit there. Show some love. Sparkling heart, hit that like button to let us know you're feeling the message, and comment below with your thoughts. Backhand index pointing down. I love hearing your stories and insights on this topic. Remember, you're not just a viewer here, you're a part of this community. Raising hands sparkles, and if you enjoyed this video, don't stop here. Check out our other inspiring content. There's so much more to discover, grow, and learn together. Let's keep this amazing journey going. Video camera eyes, hit the bell, so you never miss out on more life-changing tips and motivation. Keep shining bright, and remember, you are your greatest strength. Glowing star.